night and a record of the class. Shut that off. All right. So I want you to just, for a few moments, sit with yourself and observe yourself. Begin first by observing, well, you can observe whatever part of you, but here's one sequence. To observe first your physical being, your physicalness, where the body feels well, where there's maybe some tension, some tightness, some discomfort, a sense of not being connected to your center, whatever that feeling is, see if you can just release it a little bit as you exhale. So it's as if you hook the feeling to the breath as you inhale and then exhale and release. And it's okay to just sit in a very comfortable way, not trying to sit in any particular way, just to feel yourself, to come home to yourself. And then the other part of you to pay attention to is the emotional body. And whether or not there are areas of emotion that are present with you. Emotion is also located in the physical body. So if you feel an emotion, just ask yourself, where is it located in the body? And that may be globally, it may be your whole body, or it may be a particular part. And it's best not to edit yourself. Whatever shows up is what you observe. And then with each exhalation breath, you hook whatever that feeling is and release it on the exhale. Our thoughts, our mental, the way the mind works, so the mental part of the body can be another place to observe. How the mind wants to take over with thoughts or directions. And with each exhalation, wherever there's a sense of tightness or tension or disturbance on some level, release on the exhalation breath. And then join the palms and we'll chant. Om. 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 Yogena chitasya padena vacham malam sharirasya chavaijakena yopakarotam pravaram muninam patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi abahu purushakaram Shankachakrasidarinam Sahasara Shidasam Shwetam Pranamami Patanjalim. Harihi Om. Salute that divine connection within. Let the hands rest on the thighs. Slowly lift the head and open the eyes. All right, we're going to start in Supta Padangusthasana at the wall. I want you to have one strap. You can have head support. Your mat will be this direction into the wall, and you're going to be lying down with your feet pressed firmly against the wall to begin with. So just go ahead and lie down, and I'll talk you through the pose once you're there. I'm going to show you a particular way to hold the strap and to hold your arms for this particular practice. Thank you. All right. So Mary, can I use your space?
Yeah.
All right, everyone, come watch for a moment. So I'm going to suggest this way of holding, and the purpose of it is to help you feel the whole back rib cage and the lift of the diaphragm for the pose. Here, we can make a lot of space. We don't need side space. Yeah. Use a head support if you need. So I'm gonna hook my strap to begin with, but I'm gonna keep it quite long. And if you have a longish body, I would make sure you have a longish strap. Okay. All right. Now, what I'm gonna do is first get into Supta Padangusthasana. And then I'm going to take the strap and I'm going to place it doubled around the sole of my foot. And I have 2 loops. And I'm going to take my wrists through it. And then I don't want to hold the buckle. And hold the strap this way. So my arms are lifted and they're hanging from the strap. You see? And that gives that elongation in the side waist. The trapezius moves down the back, then the legs begin to work. Okay, and then I'll talk you through, but I'd like you to set yourself up so you're here. So the elbows are not close by your trunk, they're actually lifted up, but the trapezius muscle, upper back muscle, moves down the back, and the outer borders of the collar of the shoulder blades come in. And then the head is level. Okay, so that's the setup for the arms for Supta Padangusthasana. And as I say, use whatever head support will make you feel comfortable. Supta Padangusthasana. If you have short hamstrings, I can show you how to wrap 2 belts, one into the other, so you can hold 2 belts, and that way your leg doesn't have to be so close to your torso. So everybody start in Supta Padangusthasana. That means the legs are not up yet. Start in Supta Padangusthasana. Lie down, press your feet into the wall, elongate your trunk. See that? I'll help you. Get closer to the wall, a little bit closer. Now lie down. Good. Have the feeling that your feet are well pressing into the wall. The legs of the feet are activated, thighs rotating in. Your ankle must be doing better. You're not wearing shoes. Oh, okay. That's good. That's good. Okay. Good. All right. So when you're lying down in this way, you can actually feel the back rib cage. You can feel just how your breath is and everything. So just kind of relax for a moment, kind of not do anything. Because sometimes we just start right in with ourselves and we're not aware of, we're not with ourselves. And I think it's good to be with ourselves a little bit. Now, I want you to gently, not with a lot of, fireworks, lift your diaphragm inside the chest and spread it. And see if you can maintain that without a lot of effort, just that feeling of lift and spread. Now, keeping your left leg straight, bend your right leg, put the strap around the sole of the foot, and put your wrists through the loops. Wrap your hands around the belt so you're holding, but your wrists are kind of hanging onto that strap, and then lift your elbows way up so that you feel that lift of the diaphragm. Get close to the wall so that the left leg is very firmly pressing into the wall. So lift those elbows way up, like you're trying to lift your elbows way above your head. Relax your jaw, your chin, your tongue, your eyes. Now from here, lifting that diaphragm, but move the trapezius down the back. Now, I want you to, with extension in both legs, soles of the feet wide, ankle bones very narrow, bones of the legs very long and narrow. Then I want you to see if you can come into Mula Bandha. So that means the perineum, base of the pelvis, moves toward the back. This is very energetic. You won't feel it as much as a gross action, but you move the perineum toward the back of the body and up inside the sacrum. And observe how that helps you further extend the legs so that the right leg should not be bent. So you have to move it away. So you have to find how much to pull so that your leg is not bent. Now from here, with that Mula Bandha, feel which side of the Mula Bandha is lifted well. And when one leg is lifted and one leg is down, that feeling inside may be different on the right and left side. See if you can levelize the two sides. And then create the extension of the bottom leg, the rotation inward of the bottom leg, the lift of that inner leg to the groin, and then the movement of the right thigh bone away from you to create a more leveling of the hips. Activate the foot, activate the legs, wherever you feel that really intense stretch on the hamstring or in the back of the knee, which happens, it's in this pose. I want you to, with your exhalation breath, draw the flesh, the skin toward the bone. Keep releasing the bone away from the front of the body and lengthen the space between your navel and your hip socket. Keep working with the Mula Bandha as the directive for the physical stretching. In other words, don't physically stretch and then create Mula Bandha. Rather, create Mula Bandha and then allow the stretching to come from that more steady, internalized feeling. Trapezius down the back, sides of the neck back. Chin is not up, chin is not down, it's level. Lift your chin, bend, lift your chin. Yeah. Then bend the leg, take it down. Observe the two sides of the body in Supta Padangusthasana. Breathe. Breathing is helpful. Good. Go ahead with the right leg straight. Bend the left leg. Take the strap in that manner up. Now I'm going to add one more thing for you to focus on. Everybody seems to be kind of on the same page here. Slip your wrists right through so your hands can hang. Can you do that? Can you put the hand through? And then wrap your hand. Now grab the strap. So the hand rests. So the arms are actually supported by the strap. So the strap's too short. Is it okay? Can you straighten your leg? Okay, good. All right. So once again, create Mula Bandha. So when I say create, perhaps it's the wrong language. With your subtle awareness, move the perineum straight back to the back toward the floor, but inside and up inside the sacrum. Notice how that even adjusts the pelvis. For some of you who tend to flatten that pelvis. Maintaining the Mula Bandha throughout. Lift those elbows way up and take the trapezius down. Now, from the top, from the ears, go inside to the center of the ears. From the center of the ears, connect like you have cords down into the top of the chest. From the top of the chest, extend upward in to get that internal lift of the diaphragm, but without disturbing the sense organs. And then from the connection of the inner ears to the top center of the chest, slowly, carefully, return to the feeling of the Mula Bandha, and as best you can, move from those more subtle experiences, move the front of that left thigh away, move the top of the right thigh closer and closer to the earth. Make sure your leg is straight, elbows are well lifted. Just lift the elbows. Yeah, but keep the leg straight. So you have to work physically as well as inner ear to the top center of the chest. Feel that internal lift, Mula Bandha. Feel how that supports the opening, the releasing around the head of the femur. Then bend the leg, take it down. Take a few breaths in Supta Padangusthasana. Okay, now everyone, we're going to continue to use the belt for this next pose. So I'm going to, everybody just roll to your side, sit up for a moment. I'll just show you right here so you can see. So what I'm going to see in this pose, so I'll still be in Supta Padangusthasana with my foot against the wall. I'm going to have my strap, I'm going to show on the left side so it shows on the camera. I'm going to have the left strap in the same way. I'm going to take my elbow and upper arm into this inside my leg and grab hold of the strap from the inside. What tends to happen is a lot of shortening on this side with the leg lifted. So I'm going to work with the Mula Bandha, the internal connection of the top of the inner ear to the top center of the chest, and see as best I can that I can even the two sides of my trunk. If you let this leg fall too much to the side, that's getting away from the pose. So you want to have the connection of your arm and the leg, and the sole of the foot, as best you can, is pointing to the ceiling. So it's not down. You see, the foot is quite a bit high. So if your foot If you can't grab the strap with your hand near the foot, move the strap slightly down so you can get the foot facing the ceiling. This area right here, which is where the head of the femur is, once we're there, we'll work to release the gripping around the head of the femur so that eventually this leg comes closer and closer to the floor. Okay, so right leg will be first. Supta Padangusthasana. It's another variation of Supta Padangusthasana. So go ahead, get yourself connected to the wall. Place the strap around your foot in the same manner that you had it. Take your right arm as you bend the right leg, take it deeply inside that right thigh. Reach up and grab the straps, both straps, with your right hand. Take your right elbow and your right upper arm inside your thigh and open the thigh a bit. Yeah, get that connection of the upper arm and the elbow against that thigh. You're holding the strap with your right hand. The left hand can rest on your left thigh bone, on the top of your thigh. Okay, now from here, keep the hips as level as possible. Begin first with Mula Bandha. So that right leg is bent quite a bit. The object here is at first to get that leg bent so you can become aware of the head of the right femur. And you can feel that that femur bone around it has a gripping feeling. So we're going to go once again to the Mula Bandha action. So moving the perineum back toward the floor and up inside the sacrum. And as best you can, you maintain that without any gripping on the abdomen, or as little gripping as possible. And then connect the inner ear to the top center of the chest and lift that diaphragm from that internal connection. And then you bring some attention to the head of the right femur. Take your little leg a little to the side. It is a side action. Yeah, it's just not way over here. It's here. It's to the side. Yeah. Now from here, come into go back to the Mula Bandha and see if you've lost it on one side. And as best you can, connect on both sides, and then allow the release of the head of the right femur to come from the even lift of the Mula Bandha. So it's much more subtle, but at the same time, there's more of that internal relief. And then allow that to happen for a few breaths, and then take a breath, and as best you can, with a couple of breaths, using your arm, using your hand, bring your knee toward the floor. Pause, go back to the use of the Mula Bandha, the inner ear connection to the top center of the chest, reconnect to this more subtle energy, and allow the opening at the head of the femur to happen. And then one more time, inhale, and more forcefully use the arm, use that release of the head of the femur, even use the Mula Bandha and the inner ear connection to bring that knee toward the floor. Then bring the knee back up in line with your shoulder, bend the leg, take it down, take a couple breaths before you go to the other side. Supta Padangusthasana. Go ahead and set up for the second side. When you set up for the second side, be careful that you're not throwing your pelvis off as best you can. And of course, it's almost impossible to have this leg up and have that left buttock absolutely the same as the right. But use the Mula Bandha to help level the pelvis rather than leveling it forcefully or physically and then taking Mula Bandha. Let's move from this energetic action, elbow inside. Yeah, there you go.
By the way, that felt really good.
See that, especially on that straight leg. The straight leg can be a difficult leg to work with. Don't try to bring your knees so close to the earth yet. Work from the internal space. Mula Bandha as even as possible, right and left side. Create the stability in the right thigh moving down, the right hip rotating in, the right thigh rotating inwardly, the right leg long. Then you go to the more active action of bringing before we do that, we want to get into the release of around the gripping around the head of the left femur. So using the Mula Bandha, using the connection of the inner ear, top center of the chest, diaphragm lifting, that space internally, that awareness internally. Now, maintaining that, go to the head of the femur on that left side and release the gripping. You will find that you cannot do it. It is something you have to let go of. Then you're still too far. Untuck this pelvis. Untuck, yeah. Then, now we're going to take the more physical action. Inhale, exhale. We're keeping the release as best you can at the head of that left femur. Bring the knee toward the floor. Do your best not to disturb the right leg. To try to keep that evenness as best as possible on the Mula Bandha. It's almost impossible, but that's what you're looking at to help you guide the physical. Then release, then go back. The foot is vertical.
I know my.
Yeah, so keep an eye on it. Open your eyes and keep an eye on it. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Put your hand up here. There. There you go. I know, isn't that interesting? Try to even up the Mula Bandha. Keep releasing the head of the femur on that left side. And then as best you can, the next few breaths, the physical action, but maintain this release of the head of the femur. You don't have to take your shoes off. You don't have to take your shoes off. We're good. Then release the pose, Supta Padangusthasana. Good. All right. You all survived. Bend your legs, roll to the right, sit up. Stand with your back to the wall, your feet away from the wall. Squat down until your thigh bones are parallel to the wall. In Urdhva Paschimottanasana, wall hang. See that your legs are hip width apart, feet are straight forward. Lift the inner arches, rotate the thighs in. Now try to get your thighs parallel to the floor. Now, Mula Bandha. Maintaining the Mula Bandha, inner ear to the top center of the chest, extend upward through the chest. Now, the structure of the pelvis starts with the sitting bones. They ascend, they go up. The root of the thigh bone at the hip socket moves toward the floor. Move the thighs down. Don't let the knees come together. Move the thighs down. Move the sitting bones up. Utilize the Mula Bandha to help you maintain this pose. With as little tension on the eyes, the inner ears, or the tongue. Then slowly come up. Okay, so after we've done a lot of opening in the hip, we want to stabilize these legs. This, by the way, is very good if you have any kind of problems. Did you lose something else?
Yes, the car key part of it isn't on there. Where they maybe came up.
I think they were up here. Ken, where did you find the keys? The right-hand hook? Yeah. Why don't you look around in this area? Okay. All right. All right. Now, everyone, I want you to take dog pose in this manner. I want you to have your heels against the wall. Now, if you have some shoulder issues or whatever, would you hand me those 2 bricks, please? Right there. Thank you. What you can do, you would put the heel of the palm against this front so you don't slip. So that helps lift this armpit area. You're going to place the heels slightly up the wall. The backs of the heels press into the wall. Now I'm going to show without the bricks. So this is the setup, and then I'll talk you through it. Okay. So heel bones at the wall, legs back. And you're sure you didn't take your own key?
So if you find it, you'll know.
Okay, what is it, a car key?
It's one of those sort of
Fobs?
typical. No, it's not a fob.
Oh.
It's a tradition. In fact, it's the trunk.
Oh.
But it's a big,
Oh.
heavy one.
Okay.
There might be
Yeah.
one other key. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we'll look for it, Shirley. We'll put all eyes on it. Okay, spread the palms of the hands, go on up into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Try to get the bony structure of the heel against the wall. As you engage the heels of the wall, I want you to imagine your heel, that part of your heel spreads just like the ball of the foot. But the ankle bones are very, very narrow. That's enough, Ken. Go ahead and do your practice. We'll find it later. Spread the sole of the heels. Spread the balls of the feet. Make the ankle bones narrow. Now from here, make your legs long. Now go to the root of the thigh bone. Arms are straight. Arms are straight. So how do you straighten the arms? Take your upper arm bone and move it up towards your hips. Take your upper arm bone into your shoulder, into your back, move it up towards your hips. Elbows almost touch each other from outside to inside. Elbows do not move away from each other, they move inward and up. Now from here, release the root of the thigh. Be careful not to push your knees back. If you push your knees back, the thigh bones will go forward. Thigh bones release back. So press the lowest edge of your ankle bone in and up and release the thigh bones toward the wall. Take Mula Bandha and see if you can go deeper into the pose. Connect the inner ears to the top center of the chest and lengthen the trunk from the top center of the chest. Soft eyes, soft inner ears, soft tongue. Then step forward, come up. Okay. Preparation for headstand. Those who do headstand go into headstand. Those who don't do headstand or aren't used to doing headstand, You come out here, we'll do preparation for headstand. Do headstand.
I'm not sure.
Okay. All right, so preparation for headstand. Have a blanket for your arms. Yeah. Yeah. Now, those people who you know you are not going to do headstand, you can take Viparita Karani. Place the back of your, in fact, let me show you a nice way to do it. Let me get one of these bricks. No, I'm going to use a brick that'll not slip. So what you can do is take Viparita Padangusthasana, place the brick. It's not the easiest to work on. Place the brick in the upper back. And right where that brick is, lift upward and hang in Viparita Padangusthasana. Or you can do it with just your back against the wall. Okay, so those who are regularly doing headstand, you can do the center of the room, you can do on the edge, or you can do the preparation with me. If you're going to do that style, are those stable?
Yeah.
They good. I'm glad you think so. They don't look very stable to me. Stability is the most important thing. Okay, everyone, I'm suggesting you take a sticky mat, place it down. Go ahead and prepare. Are you going to do this or are you going to stand against the wall? So go ahead. There's space over here, space here. Go ahead. So is anybody going to be with me doing preparation for headstand? Nobody? Okay, then go ahead. And so what is preparation for headstand? Everybody come watch. Some of you are fearful, so you need to understand what I'm doing so you can understand that it's nothing to be afraid of. Preparation for headstand, there's no touch of the head on the floor. It's all the shoulders. It's all shoulder work. Yeah. No, absolutely not. So you can either hang or you can do, this is preparation for headstand. You go up. Look how far my head is from the floor. The crown of my head is up here. So it's a shoulder lift. That's all it is. So, or you can do Viparita Padangusthasana. Go ahead and do what is right for you now. Don't think, just do. Go ahead. Now, those of you who are in Sirsasana, so what I want you to do is go like this. Sit here. Reach up toward the wall. All right. Buttocks away from the wall. Lift your diaphragm. Press the heels well. That's it. Now, from your outer hips, hug inward toward the center line of your body. The legs have to be very, very strong. So Diane, come up. Let's go where you can spread your legs. Come on into the ropes room because the legs are wide in this pose. Yeah. Do you see how that feels like headstand? It's really nice. You don't have to use that. In fact, that doesn't work for you. Lift your buttocks to your heels. The legs do not externally rotate. They internally rotate. Stand in padasana. So your feet are crooked. Okay.
I don't know if my head's really hitting on the floor. Maybe I used 4 before.
Why don't you get bigger bricks? Those don't look stable and they're awfully small. Rotate your thighs in. Lift the back of your body up. This is going in. Move it back and up. Up. Now lift the shoulder to the buttock. Yeah, there you go. That's it. Good, Terry. Yeah, that's the way to take that pose.
All right. Yeah, that's it. Now let me check Diane. Yeah, you guys, good. All right, now Judy, right where that upper arm is, I want you to take that upper arm more deeply into the shoulder socket. Yeah. Run up, interlace your fingers. Yeah, press the wrist down. Make the wrist the heaviest part of your arm. Take the bottom finger away, the bottom little baby finger. Here, come down so you can see. So if I have my finger under, it makes the whole thing unstable. I take that inside. So this point, this ulna point here should be heavier times 3 than any other part of your arm. Go ahead. Yeah. Is that better? Yeah. Now legs together. Padasana. Balls of the feet higher than the outer foot. Reach through the mounds of the big toes. Pull your legs up through your toe mounds. Yes, nice. Very nice. Good. That's it. This is a great way to do it. Now, what you can do is rotate the thighs, release the heads of the femurs. And do you see how that waterfalls the trunk? Good. Good. Elbows in, Gail, elbows have to be aligned with the shoulders. How is that on your shoulder?
It's all right. Right now.
Put your whole elbow and arm on this. You have your elbows falling off. All right. Is everybody coming close to the end? This is very good, Ben. Very good. Try to balance. Come on, take one leg off. Lift the buttock, the sitting bone to that leg. Stabilize your outer ribs inward. Outer ribs inward. Bring that leg back. Take the other leg away. Lift the sitting bones up. Now, feel like it is the sides of your waist that are lifting your legs, and see if you can bring that other leg forward. If you can, fine. If you can't, fine. It's all good. All right. Good, good. That's coming. Yeah. I did my 5-minute headstand today. I have such a habit of doing 4 minutes, and I just said, just stay. Just stay. Just stay. Headstand, luckily for me, is very easy. I don't have an issue. Okay, everyone come back out. I'd like you to have a sticky mat here. And actually, you know what? I'm wondering if you might benefit by being at the wall for this. No, just be out here. Everybody take an extra sticky mat. Ken, I'll wait for you to come out. I want you to open the extra sticky mat in this way. I want everybody out here so you're facing me. And take that folded edge. So you open the mat out, unfold it, one fold. Then take the folded edge and make quite a tight fold. And then roll it up. It's never going to roll evenly. It's just do, roll it. It'll be what it is. Okay, then what I'd like you to do, go ahead and open your mat so you're facing me. And what I'd like you to do, I'll wait for everybody to get their roll, get set up. All right. No, use a mat. Use a mat. There are mats over here. The green mats right over here. There are another 10 mats available. Okay. So don't open it all the way. Open it halfway. So fold it in half. No, fold it in half. Fold it all the way in half. And then from the folded edge, you rolled up. Okay. Now, everyone, what you're going to be doing is you're going to sit on this at the root of the thigh. So I'm not going to sit with my buttocks on here. I'll turn around so you can see. So typically what we do is we sit on our sitting bones. Do you see this? All right. And I'm saying, let's not do that. I want you to sit so you're on your thighs and sit up like that. It's going to give you the feeling of the root of the thigh. So, Diane, it will be helpful if you move all the blankets and the bolsters out of the way. Move your little roll toward the back of your mat so your legs are on the sticky mat, and sit, rotate your thighs in, and sit so the root of your thigh bone, the very top of the thigh bone is what you're sitting on. And then sit up. And you'll find that you sit up very well. Does everybody feel how? Now, just for comparison, I want you to sit forward so your sitting bones are on the roll. Sit so your sitting bones are on the roll. And sit up. And you'll find that your trunk doesn't lift as well. So go back and sit. So back up. So only the very top of the thigh is sitting on this sitting bone, sitting on this roll, and your sitting bones are actually hanging down. Press the root of your thigh down and lift your trunk. Then take Mula Bandha and further lift. Does everybody feel this incredible lift that comes? That is because the thigh bone is moving down. It isn't lifting up. And when the thigh bone moves in the hip socket toward the back, it's more deeply in the hip socket. When it's forward, it's actually coming out of the hip socket. And that creates friction, whereas this, you can feel how there's this lift that comes everywhere. Okay, everybody's got that feeling. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come off that setup, and I want us to take Marichyasana I. So for this, I recommend you have a blanket or two to sit on. So let's go ahead and get a blanket or two. I think it would be helpful if you had a strap and a brick for this. So let's get the props we need. So you have a couple blankets, a strap, and a brick. And then you're going to sit on your blankets, but with the same action in the root of the thigh. So in order for me to sit, I sit on the edge, right on the edge, but I move the thigh bones down. So that's the sense that you want. So you have, I have to get a brick. Okay, so I'm sitting on quite a bit of height because the first thing we're going to see in this pose is we're going to be bending the left leg. So go ahead and bend your left leg. Now observe how the moment you bend the leg, how your weight goes to your buttock. Move the thigh, the root of the thigh toward the floor. Release the root of the thigh. Release the root of the thigh, top of the thigh away from the hip. Lift your chest. Lift your lower abdominal region. Rotate your thighs in as deeply as you can. Now you're going to take the right leg slightly over and the left leg slightly over. Keep the foot aligned with the ankle, the inner knee, and the leg. Now you're going to take this arm inside. So this is very much like we did earlier, lying down. Does everybody feel the upper arm is pressing against the inner thigh?
Bend the elbow. Make a firm hand and use the inner thigh, pressing against your arm. Press the upper arm into the leg, and then have your brick on your right side, lifting and turning. Yeah, good. All right, then change legs. All right, so that's the setup for Marichyasana I. So let's bend the right leg. Now, we're not working the pose right now. We're just helping you understand the shape of the pose. The left foot slightly to the side, the right foot slightly away. The heel of the right foot is as close to your sitting bone as possible. And then you can use your left hand on the brick to help you get extension. Release the root of your right thigh away from here. So this area, everyone put your hand in this area, right in between the thigh bone and your hip, right there. You feel how it wants to glow in and down. So what are we going to do to create more length in that abdomen? So when you have your leg bent here, your ascending colon is then collapsed. And you want that ascending colon to lift. So release the root of the thigh away and lift the ascending colon. Release the root of the left thigh. Try to get that feeling inside the body. Then reach in, go forward. Create a stability in the arm. Connect the inner leg to the upper outer arm. Connect the outer arm to the inner leg and move the root of the thigh, release the root of the thigh away from the hip. There. And then release, come back around. Okay, take both legs. Your arms inside. Now, you might have to sit a little higher for this. I mean, one of the best ways to do this is on a chair. We did this, anyway, I'm not gonna, we may do it later. It feels so good, but we're just starting here. So what I want you to do is get your arms inside. Okay, now, notice how much you're collapsed from your navel to the groin, from the groin to the navel. Do you feel how that area is short? You don't want that area short, you want it long. So internally rotate your thighs, release the roots of the thighs away from you and lift upward from the base of the pelvis. Good. I know it. We're not there yet. Okay, all right. I'm working you in toward a pose called Malasana. Okay? All right. So it's just giving you a little that sense that there can be movement, but it's not a big movement. Now take Mula Bandha and see if anything happens. And then release. Straighten both legs. Sit on the floor. Bend both knees. Now, some of you will need a strap for this. So what I recommend is that you undo the strap at this point. Those who need a strap will use a strap. The strap will be with the arms inside the legs today. This is different from Paripurna Navasana, where the legs are straight and the body's in a V. This is more like Paschimottanasana. So what I'd like you to do, actually, I'm going to do this Paschimottanasana first. So sit on as much height as you need. I usually use a little less than I did for the last pose. I use maybe just one blanket. Now, move the roots of the thighs, release the roots of the thighs toward the earth. Lift from the groin upward toward the navel.
And then start to extend the trunk forward. The legs have to work very strongly. The feet have to continue to work. The mounds of the toes spread. The feet, they don't go like this. They have to go this way. Otherwise, your inner legs don't work. Yeah. Now from here, keep moving the roots of the thighs down, Mula Bandha, and very, very, very slowly walk your abdomen to your legs. Walk your trunk forward. Don't round your back. Lift your elbows if necessary. In fact, you can use this action to help lift the upper back. So the upper back doesn't round. Don't use your chin. Connect the inner ear to the top center of the chest and keep going forward in Paschimottanasana. Go very, very slowly. Terry and I were talking about this the other day. Very slowly. Keep releasing the root of the thigh. Keep the Mula Bandha. Inhale, exhale, go slowly. Connect the inner ear to the top center of the chest. See that the extension toward the legs is coming from the chest and coming from the lift of the Mula Bandha. Keep going. Don't round your shoulders. Lift those elbows way up and forward. Move the trapezius down the back. Some of you might not go very far, don't worry. But once you've grasped your feet or use a strap, lift the elbows, climb the upper chest, lift the abdomen, the diaphragm, lengthen that lower area, that lower part of your abdomen. Nice. Maintaining the connection of the inner ear and top center of the chest. Inhale, come up. Okay, so that's Paschimottanasana, bend of the west side of the body. Now we're going to take it lying down. Now, how does Paschimottanasana work lying down? So I'm going to show you guys from the side. I'm going to do the best I can. So I'm on my back. All right. I'm going to be taking my legs like this. Now, the object isn't to lift your pelvis. The object is to lengthen this lower abdominal region. So with both hands on both legs, or thank you. I have no idea where I am today. Oh, thank you. So you can also do what we did earlier, which is grasp the feet, lift the arms. The reason for the lift of the arms is to get this diaphragmic area lifted. Because just because we're bringing the legs in, you don't want this top chest to shrink. So by lifting the arms this way, it's the best way I know how to get that diaphragmic area lifting, center of the ear to the center of the chest, and then you release the thigh bones away from you. And you go deeper and deeper into the pose, okay? You can have a little bit of head support for this. So Paschimottanasana upside down. So this is called Urdhva Paschimottanasana. So you want to lie down, align your back, take Tadasana, lying down, so you know that your thighs are rotating in. Legs are not relaxed in this pose. Legs are active, jaw is relaxed, eyes are relaxed, inner ears are relaxed. Now bend both legs at the same time and take your legs up. So you're either going to hold the feet or the backs of the legs, or you're going to use the strap. Once you've got hold of some part of your leg and your legs are straight, use a strap if there feels strain. There's no, you used a strap when you were sitting up for Paschimottanasana, so it's the same pose. So now release the root of the thigh away from the front of the leg. Keep releasing the root of the thigh, making your legs long. If you need to, and I would suggest everybody have some of this sense, you slightly lift and open the elbows to lift that diaphragm. Connect the inner ears down into the top center of the chest. Create that internal connection. The cords of that connection should become very thin. If they're thick, stay with it until those cords become thin. And then keep releasing the roots of the thighs and slowly, slowly maintaining the length. Take Mula Bandha, maintain the length from the top of the thigh to the waistline, and then bring the legs towards you, bring the feet towards you as you keep releasing the thighs away. The legs stay straight. So use a strap, Cheryl, because it's straining you. So use a strap. There's a strap right there. Rather than strain, use a strap to support yourself, because we're staying here. Start bringing your feet more and more over your head. The legs are long, but that lower abdominal region stays long. Thighs rotating in. Try to take that Mula Bandha and see how that helps affect the pose. It helps affect the release of the thighs more and more. The lengthening of the lower abdominal region as best you can. So the thigh bones are moving away, but the legs are coming closer and closer. Lift those elbows, lift that diaphragmic area to maintain that length and expansion in the chest. Then bend your legs, take your legs down, and take a breather. Yeah, right? Then when you feel ready, roll to your right and sit up. Everyone stand up, Uttanasana. Now in Uttanasana, I'm going to suggest that today you have your feet closer together. So in the classic Uttanasana, the legs are joined. If your legs aren't up to joining, then have a little bit of space, but don't have this wide space today. Now from here, it's the same action. It is the same thing. So the roots of the thighs move back, the thighs internally rotate. The Mula Bandha happens. You come slowly into the pose. Now you have gravity helping, connecting the inner ear to the top center of the chest so that there's no disconnection of the throat, the eyes, or the inner ears, the tongue, the jaw. And then, as best you can, keep releasing the roots of the thighs. Lift the diaphragm and elongate that whole internal abdominal area. Hug the outer legs to the inner legs. Lift the inner legs toward the groins. Release. Then slowly inhale, come up. Okay, good. Now we're going to take a pose that's very related, and it's called Ubhya Padangusthasana. I didn't get to Malasana yet, but we'll get there. So in Ubhya Padangusthasana, you grab hold of the big toe. In Padangusthasana, meaning these three fingers wrapped under so that the shoulder blades are on the back. The legs, the arms are inside the legs. The outside of the legs must maintain their compactness. And then you extend straight upward. Ubhya Padangusthasana. You can use a strap. If you can't maintain that extension, it's an upward. It's Paschimottanasana, sitting upward. Make the outer legs very firm. Make your outer legs very, very firm. That's it. Release the roots of the thighs from the center of the ear, connect to the top center of the chest. Go up. Yes. Now you can catch hold of the feet and bring your legs towards your chest. Lift those elbows. Go up. Go up, not down. Go up, not down. Go up, not down. Don't lift your legs so high, Mary. Untuck your pelvis. Better. Yeah, nice. And then come down. Good, everyone. Upavishta Konasana. Sit up tall. Mula bandha. Look at the outer edges of your feet. The outer edges of your feet are vertical. The inner legs, the whole inner leg, the inner knee, the inner thigh, the inner groin goes toward the floor. The outer leg comes toward the hips. Untuck, rotate those thighs in. Don't sit on your buttocks, sit on your thighs. So use some lift under the pelvis if necessary. Upavishta Konasana. Good. Now, bring your legs together. Grab one of your blankets. Have a very firm fold on your blanket. Stand with your heels up on the blankets. Bring your feet together. Touch your feet to each other. Feel the inner heels of your feet pressing downward. The inner heel is the most important part in this pose. Maintain the pressure of the inner heel. Bring your arms forward. Bend your legs. Release the roots of the thighs. Separate your knees only enough to bring your arms inside. Hug the outer legs inward. Release the roots of the thighs. Press the inner heels. Press the inner heels. Press the inner heels. Walk the arms forward. As possible, extend the arms to the side. Mula bandha, go deeper into the pose. Press the inner heels. Knees are completely bent. All right, so come up. This is how you would do this. I don't have the right setup for you here. And you put something in your knees, or you can hold on. So you can't bend the leg all the way, but you can go into it. Good. Now pressing the inner heels, lift your trunk out from between your two arms. Bring your arms forward, bring your knees together, press your heels, firm your buttocks, up you come. Knees together when you come up. Malasana. Okay, good. Go get a chair quickly and a bolster. Go ahead. Go get a chair and a bolster. I'll show on, yeah, I'll use your setup. If anybody's not inverting, you'll let me know. I don't think anybody here has that issue. Your bolster will be on the floor. Your chair will be on the mat. Your chair must be completely on the mat. Have space behind you. Let's move you forward so you have space so you can slide out. Okay. Sit on the chair. Bring your shoulders to the bolster. Head hanging off. Hold the chair front legs. Lift the back of the body. Extend the legs upward. Viparita Karani. Second pose.
Keep your shoulders on, chatush padasana. Put your buttocks in front of the chair, stretch the legs through, setu bandha. Okay, I'll talk you through it. If your bolster is right under your under here, you may miss it. So be careful of where the bolster is. Put your legs over the upper back of the chair, not through the chair. Put your legs on the top of the chair, then lower your body to the bolster. The shoulders are on the bolster, the neck is hanging off, and the head is on the floor. The chair must be close enough so that you're not feeling like you're falling off. So if you feel like you're falling off, you don't have the right setup, it's best to come out and start again. Check to see that the whole back of your neck is supported by this bolster. Take your legs straight up toward the ceiling. Release the roots of the thighs away. Lift your diaphragm, open the chest, move the sternum toward your throat. Legs are straight up in the air. Viparita Karani. Okay, so you just take the baby pose. So slide. So what you want to do is come with your shoulders down here. Rest your legs on the chair. That'll be it. Lift your back body. Use the action of the arms. Take Mula Bandha. Connect the inner ear to the top center of the chest. Lift this back body. Make your legs very active. Eyes soft. Feet do not travel. They are directly above your buttocks. You guys, some of you have your legs over your feet, your face. The legs are back. The legs are back, way back. They're over your buttocks. They're still forward. So lift your chest. Yeah, sit on that chair. Sit. Yeah. So if it bothers your back, bring your feet to the chair. Mirror, your feet are way over your head. They need to be back here, way back, thighs back, thighs back. So you're not sitting on the chair enough. Yeah, nice. Yes. Beautiful. This is a good pose. Yeah. So Viparita Karani is the reverse leg pose, which means the lower abdomen must be deep and soft. The chest is very lifted.
Lord, are these back far enough now?
Now they're better. Yeah. Yeah. Better.
I can feel it quite well in this.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. You can really feel it in this pose. Now from here, you can leave your legs on the chair for this. Now the rest of you are going to start coming into the next pose. So you're going to have to adjust the chair. I know it's on a mat. You have to figure it out. So you're going to bring your feet to the upper back of the chair, then walk your feet down to the seat of the chair, and then lift your pelvis off the chair. Chatush Padangusthasana, thighs rotate in. Knees are not wide, inner heels press, lift your back up. Chatush Padangusthasana, lift the upper back, not just the lower back, the upper back. Roll those arms under. So you're still on your shoulder blades, you're not on your shoulders, so tuck your shoulders. Good, now from here, put your buttocks right in front of the seat of the chair, right against the seat of the chair. Slide your legs through the seat of the chair, setu bandha sarvangasana. Put your buttocks in front of the seat of the chair. Then left leg. Now you're starting to fall off. Do you know that?
Yes.
So it's time for you to come out because that's not safe for you.
How do you put your buttocks in front of the chair?
You have to move the chair. It's hard to do on a mat. I usually don't teach this on a mat. Good. Legs are not externally rotated. Legs are internally rotated. See, you're sitting on there. The buttock has to be way in front. This has to be in front of this chair. So you have to move the chair. Yeah, there. Now place your legs through. Yeah, good job. Good. All right, now keeping the thighs on the seat of the chair, release the thighs, take Mula Bandha, connect the inner ear to the top center of the chest, release the jaw, release the eyes, release the inner ears. Find those cords from the top center of the chest, from the inner ear to the top center of the chest, and see that those cords are very thin. Very thin. Very thin. Good. All right. Then slowly come out of the pose, slide over the bolster. So your shoulders have to go to the other side. Slide over the bolster and rest your legs over the bolster. Slide over the bolster until your pelvis is off the bolster, and then rest your legs over the bolster. That was the only thing. And why it was hard for you to get that, because probably the chair's not high enough for you.
But I also didn't realize to move the chair.
Right, well, on that part, but I'm saying in the beginning with your legs falling over and
Yeah, I
every,
have no sense of where it was perpendicular.
you have to have your eyes open and
I
see.
did.
You did? You couldn't feel it.
No, they
Oh,
looked
okay.
great.
Okay. Then I'm going to teach you from a feeling side what it feels like. Release, relax. Let your body just absorb the practice. It has absorbed it. Let your body integrate the practice just with a nice, easy breath. Nothing to do. Savasana is a pose of non-doing, only observation, only to observe how does this body feel. Even if you don't have the perfect setup, don't worry. Your body can still learn to relax. You can still learn to let go. Sometimes we get so caught up in, is this the perfect support for my head or my shoulders or whatever? Sometimes it's good to just let go and watch what happens. Because it's amazing how, through your practice over these years, how your body knows how to let go without all the bells and whistles. It knows. It's very intelligent, this body. Let that belly go. Let that chest go. Let that throat go. Let the palms go. The face, the tongue, the inner ears, the eyes. Let everything just go. As you breathe in, imagine that your nostrils are as wide as your cheekbones. And allow that breath to come in as if it's coming through the cheekbones. As you breathe out, let the breath come through the nostrils, along the septum, along the inner space of the nostrils. Breathe in through your cheekbones, breathe out through the nostrils. This will help slow the breath down. You don't have to tell the breath to slow down. It will slow down. Good, everyone. All right, now we have to come to the end of the practice. Recognize that you're breathing slowly, slowly. Let the eyes come open. Let the breath be what compels movement. Let the breath be what brings your legs towards you. And let the breath guide you in the rolling to the right. Let the breath guide you in softly coming up, using the arms, dropping the head. Let the breath guide the whole practice. Good, everyone. All right. Thank you all. Namaste.